It is that time of year again, folks. It is a time for reflection.
This video is not sponsored by any of the companies mentioned.
Hi, Shanna Rowe Jackson here from Caution Artist at Play. Welcome back to my channel where I talk all things art and art supply related. Yeah, it's kind of an obsession of mine. It is that time of year again, folks. It is a time for reflection. And so with that, I am going to be talking about my top 10 favorite art supplies of 2023. Some of these are things that I could put on my list every year, though I try not to duplicate my list too much. And so with that, I try to put out a new list every year, even though I still really love the art supplies from last year. And then some of these are things that I just tried this year and fell in love with. And a few of them, I have to be honest, are things that I've had in my studio for years and did not use as much as I should. And then started using this year and fell back in love with. So this list is not in any particular order. It's just everything that I've been finding myself drawn to this year. So let's get to it. Let's start off with a supply that is a new version of one of my longtime favorites, and that is the Pitt Artist Dual Pens. These are a newer addition to the Pitt Artist pen line by Faber-Castell. If you have been watching my channel for a while, then you know that my go-to markers are the Pitt pens. These are a water-based India ink pen that are light fast, which is really important to me. I don't work with alcohol-based markers in work that I plan to sell because they do fade over time. And these have light fast ratings on them, so I know that I can sell my work without it fading out on somebody's wall. Now, the dual pens offer a larger brush pen at one end. So this is what the regular brush pen kind of looks like. And the dual pen offers a larger brush pen at one end and then a finer nib at the other. When combined with the regular Pitt Artist brush pens, you get maximum versatility. I love the large brush end for covering larger areas more quickly. And of course, I use the 0.8 millimeter nib for finer details. To learn more about these pens, I do have a video on my channel. You can check that out. I will link it and all the related art supply review videos below because there's plenty of supplies that are going to be in this video that I've done videos on in the past. So I will link those in the description. And these usually come in like a package that looks like their Albrecht Dürer watercolor marker packaging. But I took them out and put them in this case for more sturdy keeping. And I don't honestly have a link for this case anymore. I have not been able to find them again since I bought them, unfortunately. Up next is a supply that I have had in my studio for years, but have historically slept on. This year, however, I have renewed interest in using them. I am talking about pan pastels. These are fantastic cake-style pastels that are applied using sponge applicators and soft tools. It kind of looks like a little palette knife with a sponge on the end. You can see here already, look how vibrant that is, just from me using it a little bit ago. And they come in many different colors. They have the colors on the bottom. They stack. You can get a tray. I need to get a tray. You can get a tray to use them. And then it'll tell you the color and the light fast ratings. So they do have light fast ratings. And I love them, especially for laying down underpaintings for my pastel and colored pencil work, though many artists use them to create beautiful art without layering another medium over them. I have the painting set of 24 and have added a few fun convenience colors here and there over the years, though having a ton of colors isn't really that necessary because they are highly mixable. I have been using these more and more in 2023, and I can't wait to try out more techniques in 2024 with them, and they really are very convenient for underpainting with colored pencil, which, as you know, I work with colored pencils quite often. Okay, so number 3, this next supply is one that I have used for years and in most of my colored pencil pieces. I am referring to the Derwent drawing pencils. These are fantastic earth-toned pencils that are great for creating mood in any drawing. They are soft and have an almost clay-like feel to them when laying them down. And I don't know, their Derwent drawing Chinese White is my go-to pencil. It's lovely and opaque, and it has been a pencil that I have used since my early days in colored pencil, and it's just fantastic. So I use this pencil in pretty much every color pencil piece that I do. They only come in 24 colors, which is a bummer, but every color in the line is highly light fast, and they make a great addition to any colored pencil collection. And they're just beautiful. These are just a few of the colors. This is what their tin looks like. Chef's kiss. Mwah. If you have been watching my channel for a while, then you know over the past couple of years, I have really been getting into gouache. Well, I have fallen in love with the Holbein Artist Gouache. These are beautiful and vibrant, and since they don't use any whitening agents in their gouache, they stay pretty true to color. You don't get any of that weird like white film on it when they dry because they don't have any whitening agents and they use high quality pigments in them. And they're just a beautiful artist grade gouache. You saw me put this palette together earlier in the year. And this is like a stay wet palette. However, they will dry out eventually if you don't keep reactivating them. But because they're gouache, they reactivate really easily with water. And something awesome about these paints is the fact that I have seen other people use different brands of paint in this palette and they've gotten a mold issue. I have never had a mold issue with the Holbein Artist Gouache, and I think that is because of the fact that they have so few fillers in them. And yeah, so I haven't had to battle mold in this at all. I mean, she looks a little crusty, but again, water will reactivate those just fine. And if you are somebody who's not a huge fan of gouache because of the fact that it reactivates, but you really like matte colors that you get with gouache, like that matte flat look, then I suggest trying out their acrylic gouache, which is also just as fantastic, but a little bit more permanent than the regular gouache. Okay, so we are on to number 5. My table's getting nasty from all these pigments. It would not be a kind of favorite art supply overview without me mentioning one or two of my favorite surfaces. So number 5 on my list is one you have heard me rave about time and time again, and that is Encaustic Board by Ampersand. I love these as a mixed media surface. I've actually never even used them for encaustics because I don't do encaustics. But I do love them for acrylics. I love them for casein. And I absolutely love these with my Pitt pens. As you know, water-based markers are a little bit more difficult to blend than alcohol-based markers. And since I work with mostly water-based markers, I had to search for a surface that would be perfect for blending them. And when I came across the encaustic board, or when I tried my markers on the encaustic board, because I had, again, already used these for other media, I fell in love. This is my go-to surface now for my water-based markers, and they are archival and strong and just a fantastic, fantastic mixed media surface. They also have other panels as well, like their gesso board, which is fantastic, their pastel board, which is wonderful for pastels, obviously, and colored pencil. But I feel like this is what I go to the most when I'm working with marker and acrylic, especially lately. So this next one is one that is probably a staple in most art studios. And this is also one that I've had for years, but I've fallen back in love with recently. That is the classic Sakura Pigma Micron pens. And I just love these. I kind of got sick of them in school because when I was in drawing class, we had to use these constantly. I went through so many of these and I honestly had gotten frustrated, but I have started using them again this year in my sketchbook, and they just can't be beat as far as a fine liner goes. They are archival, they're waterproof, they're fantastic. They come in a range of sizes, and yeah, I'm just glad that I've started using them again because, you know, I had a love-hate relationship with them in school, but you can't really say no to a good fine liner. Okay, let's talk about watercolors, folks. I had been wanting to try this palette for years. This is the Paul Rubens set of 24. Just look at this classic pink palette. Oh, I love it so much. I just recently reviewed this on the channel, and I just had such a fun time. These are such a great bargain. I was pretty impressed with the overall light fast ratings of the set. I found them to be vibrant, pigmented, easy to use, and just all around beautiful. I used them on their glitter paper for a little extra pizzazz, but I don't know, I had so much fun. The only thing that I am kind of bummed about is that I couldn't really find a way to get replacement pans open stock. I don't know, not very easily anyway. But overall, I think this is a great little set. You can even get it bundled with one of their little sketchbooks, and I was pretty impressed with this paper when I swatched. I don't know, just a great gift idea, which is another reason why I like to do this video this time of year, because we're coming up on the holidays and people might be looking for gift ideas. And I think this is one of those products that just really packs it in as a gift with its presentation and its overall use. I was really just completely and utterly impressed with these for their price. And so, yeah, definitely going to be using this a lot in the coming year. Earlier in the video, I mentioned how much I love the Derwent Drawing Chinese white pencil. Well, I have news for you. I found another white pencil that I have fallen in love with, and that is the Holbein Soft White Colored Pencil. And I have used this a ton. Now, you can see, like, this one got used up. Now, that does not mean that I am going to be completely replacing the Chinese white. Rather, I find that they work really well with each other and pick up the slack for each other. This pencil has a different texture to it from the Chinese white, almost like an oil pastel feeling, but much less greasy. So I'm able to layer this in places where I may not be able to put more layers of the Chinese white down. This was particularly helpful in my recent saltwater taffy piece in places where the paper had started to get overworked. I think this white feels a bit more on the cooler side to me than the Chinese white, so that is also something to consider as well. I enjoy the Holbein artist colored pencils in general, and their regular white pencil is pretty good too, but this is by far my most used pencil in that line, and I'm really happy to have added it to my art supply collection, and yeah, I find that it works fantastically. All right, pals, speaking of colored pencils, here is yet another supply that I have slept on in the past. The Caran d'Ache Luminance. Everyone knows these are high quality pencils, but I have had them for years and haven't used them as much as I should until this year. I haven't used this set yet. I'm just using this as an example to show packaging. I have the set of 40 and some others that I've bought open stock over the years. And the reason I have never been in the habit of grabbing for these pencils, I think, is because when I first started with colored pencils, these felt so bougie to me. I bought the 40 set, but was scared to use them because they were so precious. At the time, they were the only 100% light fast line out there and were the most expensive pencils that I owned. As I have grown as an artist and I have better income than I used to, I have collected progressively more expensive lines of pencils such as the Holbein and Derwent Lightfast, which is Derwent's 100% Lightfast line that came out a few years ago. I think now that I have worked with other high quality lines, these don't feel so precious to me. Ah, yes, the psychology behind choosing what art supplies to use. I realize that reasoning is a bit kooky, but I am just glad to be over that and to be having so much fun with these pencils now. You will see me using these more and more in the future, and I will probably be doing a review of this particular set at some point in 2024. Okay, so number 10, I think I would like to end this video with another surface. I am loving Legion's line of Stonehenge Aqua watercolor paper. They come in white and black, hot pressed and cold pressed, in blocks and pads and rolls and regular and heavyweight. I think you get the picture. It's 100% cotton. And I have really enjoyed using it for watercolor, gouache, acrylic gouache, and even regular acrylics. Pastels work fairly well on this too, especially the black. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of using on top of it is regular colored pencils. The tips of the pencils, especially harder pencils like polychromos, tend to kind of chip away at the surface of the paper. But other than that, I think it's a really versatile paper, and I am looking forward to doing more pieces on it, especially now that I am like really getting back into watercolor again. Yeah, I think this is going to come in handy. And I can't even like show this whole pad on the screen, but this is an example of the black cold press as a pad. And then we have the Aqua hot press. This is a block, and it has a space here where you can put a palette knife under and get it all off. And blocks are fantastic because you don't have to stretch your paper. You don't have to worry about it warping. It's all glued down on most sides. Yeah, I just love it. So there we go. Okay, folks, that's it. Those are my favorite supplies of the year. Let us know in the comments below what some of your favorite supplies are, because I'm always interested in hearing about new supplies, and I know my viewers are as well. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and hit that notification bell so you can see more like it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed already, like, what the heck are you waiting for? I mean, come on now. All right, thank you so much for watching. You have a fantastic day. Bye.